Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody, your favorite sweet and loving father's rights and parents' rights advocate. So I want to talk to you about everything you should be doing at minimum. Been talking a lot about how this is a fight and a war of attrition. A bunch of people are caught up in whether they win in court or not before their case is even over with. And most people settle before trial and nobody wants to go to trial. So you should use every weapon and exhaust every legal remedy that you have, not to abuse the system, but to legitimately advocate. And if you lose, so what? Keep going. Everybody wants to cry, whine, piss, and moan about how they lost a hearing and stuff. Yeah, it sucks. Get back up in the saddle and keep at it. That's what wins. See, that's what a lot of people don't get. That's what wins, keeping at it. What's more terrorizing? Like a Mike Tyson that can knock somebody out, or a person who can get back up after they're knocked out, like the Tyson Fury fight? Or think about the Terminator. What was so terrifying about the original Terminator movie? That Arnold Schwarzenegger kept coming back no matter what you gave him. That's what terrorizes people. That's what exhausted Apollo Creed in Rocky. Rocky got up and he's like, when is this blankety blank gonna die and quit? There's no quit in him. That's what wins most of the time. And you guys are all caught up in winning a hearing. So, are you doing all of this? If you have an attorney, did you do a deposition right away? No? If you haven't listened to a damn thing that I said, because a deposition is the number one weapon or tool and the only thing your attorney is good for. So if you've been watching my videos for a while and you don't even know about a deposition, you're a lazy bum who doesn't care about your kid, because everybody who has listened to me carefully and cares about fighting for their kid either gets a consult with me or listens carefully and realizes the discovery process is really important. And a deposition is the number one tool or weapon that you will ever use in any court case at all. Criminal, civil lawsuit, family court, whatever. If you don't know what a deposition is, then grow some balls and get off your butt and look for my video on YouTube on a deposition. If you don't want to exert the energy to go look at something free like that, which is your number one tool or weapon in family court, then you don't care about your case. You're caught up in, oh, I want to fight the system. Oh, I want to fight this judge. Oh, I want to win this court hearing. Oh, I want the court to honor my pleadings. I have such a great argument, now I'm pissed. Why don't you go use the number one, if you have a nuclear bomb, that's what we did in Hiroshima. Once we dropped the nuclear bomb, the Japanese surrendered. We were dilly-dallying around with all this other frivolous little bullcrap, shooting people with pop guns and little rifles, and we had the atomic bomb. Now, I'm setting aside any ethics or arguments about war and legitimacy of any war. I'm making a point. If you have a lawyer and you haven't done a deposition, you haven't even attempted to try in your case. So don't come on here whining while you're losing when you're not even attempting to try anything. And you should be extremely ashamed, or you should check yourself whether you care about your kid if you have an attorney and haven't done a deposition yet. Because I've talked about it over and over and over again. And if you only watch TikTok, you're dumb for not going on my YouTube channel and watching all the free, longer, more thorough videos that teach you a whole bunch of stuff. You don't care about your case. You're so arrogant, you think you know it all, and you don't need to learn from somebody who's been through it for 20 years. How many years have you been in family court? How many victories do you got? I won my first contempt hearing when I first tried. I got 5 days a week visitation. It took me 2.5 months because I kept at it, and I lost and lost and lost, and I kept at it. And there's people on here arguing with me like a drama queen, like a midget who got cut from his middle school team, arguing with Michael Jordan as to what the best workout is to become a good basketball player. Some of this arguing is asinine. That's why I don't tolerate it from you drama queens who want to, here's the fight right here ahead of you. Here's the battle ahead of you. Here's the battle that's going to win your fight. And you're over here and over here and over there and over there because you're all in your feelings and you don't want to listen to somebody who's actually done it. So, if you got an attorney, you haven't done a deposition, you've wasted your entire retainer. The attorney should have offered a deposition at the beginning. And I'm sitting here giving you something that's extremely valuable. You spent $5,000 on your attorney and you're whining and crying and pissing and moaning because I want $60 for an hour of my time. And I've already given you $50,000 worth of free information in all my videos if You watch one video of mine, it's usually more information than any attorney has given you. And you go and tell your attorney to fight like that, and they won't do it. And you keep paying them $5,000 retainers to lose for you. Who's the dummy here? And I got people talking major shit at me because I'm actually, kind of chewing people out and telling people to grow up here and fight the right way. So, bare minimum, deposition if you got an attorney. Outside of that, you don't need an attorney. Now, you can even do your own deposition, but it's more efficiently done with an attorney. The other side takes it more seriously. When they're subpoenaed, they honor the subpoena. If you're doing it yourself, you have to motion the court for a subpoena, get a subpoena from the court. And then if there are no show, then you got to motion the court, motion to compel discovery, and all this other stuff. If you don't know what that is, then you should have got an appointment with me. Or you're a welfare bum who's entitled and wants to send me a DM and say, hey, talk to me for 5 hours back and forth in DMs for free because I'm entitled to it, but I'll keep spending $400 an hour on my attorney that gives me loser advice. You see why I'm a little frustrated? You guys will spend thousands on an attorney to give you loser advice, and then you'll expect free time from me when I've already devoted, I got countless guys who have messaged me and said they got full custody, did their own trial, won in a court hearing, watching my free videos without a consultation. But most of you, and it's understandable, most of you have watched some of my videos and you're totally lost. The guys that I'm talking about are like the exception to the rule. They watch all my videos, they go and study and look up case law and look up stuff. I got a woman who's getting totally crushed in court, and she's looking up case law interstate in other states, and 99% of you don't even know what case law is. And she did that without me even telling her to do it. So if a woman who's getting screwed in court, who is overwhelmed with their court case and pregnant with another child and emotionally distraught, is sitting there doing legal research, and you're not listening to anything I'm saying, you need to get cussed the hell out because your life is on the line with the kids. And you should be wanting to fight and use every weapon and tool available to fight. And there's dads out there, like I said, they watch all my videos and then they go to court. Sometimes they have an attorney and they light a fire under the attorney because they have the balls to stand up to their attorney, who is their employee, who they're the boss of. I don't know, maybe your kids boss you around too, and you never boss anybody around, even people that you hire for $400 an hour. But your life with your kid is on the line, so it's time to grow some balls, whether it's comfortable or not. So, a deposition. If you're not doing a deposition, are you doing written interrogatories and stuff like that? I know people have done interrogatories, and the other side hasn't answered for 5 months, and they still haven't done a motion to compel. If you have a court order, and the mother of the other side's violating the court order, have you done contempt? What the hell is wrong with you if you haven't done contempt? If somebody breaks into your house and steals your property, do you wait for months and months to see if they break into your house again and again and again, and then you're really going to get them by calling the cops? Or do you call the cops every time? Even if they prosecute them and they get away with it and let back out on the street and they come back and rob you again, you say, man, they prosecuted them and they didn't win and put them in jail, so I'm not going to call the cops. That's what you guys do with contempt. Oh, I tried contempt and lost, so I'll never try it again. We don't ever do that with anything else in life, especially when it comes to our personal property. But you don't give a damn about your kids. You care more about your property than your kids. Or you have the gall and the boldness and the courage to stand up for your personal property, just not your kids, because your enemy is the mother. So you're more afraid of your ex-wife or girlfriend than you are about a thug or a robber that comes in to break in your house. You'll call the cops on them, but you won't do the contempt. You won't do calling the police on the mother for violating a court order. And contempt is the only remedy to hold somebody accountable for violating a court order. Have you motioned the court for full custody? Are you going for full custody? If you're not going for full custody, you're a total dumbass. Because if you want 50-50, you don't ask for 50-50 and ever get 50-50. If you're buying a car that's worth $10,000, you don't say, I'll pay $10,000. You'd be a dumbass to do that, right? How come you're smart enough to do that with a car, but not with your kids? You offer $8,000 for the car, the dealership says 12, and you negotiate down 10. Oh, that's what I wanted. I'll pretend that's, okay, I'll compromise. You shoot for the stars and you hopefully hit the moon. Your attorney is shooting for the clouds and you're going to hit a tree branch. Are you going on the offensive, calling her out for withholding the child, which is child abuse? Are you calling that child abuse? Or are you too scared? Are you asking for a mental health evaluation on the mother? When you lose, have you done reconsideration? So deposition, reconsideration, discovery outside of court, getting on the offensive, doing all the recourse available, contempt when she violates it. Are you getting on the offensive with all this? When the guardian ad litem files a crappy report, are you writing and picking it apart? Are you countering everything the mother says? That's bare minimum. If you haven't done all that stuff, you haven't even started to try. So don't whine and cry about the system. You haven't tried.